weeks, hoping it'd stop.
But out here, Pete, so far from everything, maybe we should...
No, you see, honey, I'm counting on it to fix me up. Yeah, that's better.
Pete?
Huh?
What time is it?
It's about 3, I think.
3? What are you doing?
I'm closing the window, dear.
We should have air.
Well, I'm cold.
Oh.
Jan, if you really want...
No. I guess it is getting a little chilly.
Yeah.
Windy out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nights will be like this all winter, darling.
All winter.
Don't look at it, Pete.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hadn't you better get back to...
Oh, go to sleep. Will you go to sleep?
Have you seen the hammer?
It's in the hall closet. Why?
Well, the end pole under the dock needs... Well, it's pretty shaky.
That's not your job.
Oh, I like banging.
I'll do it.
But, honey, I don't mind.
It's not your job.
But won't it bother you,
No,
too?
of course not.
Well, I just thought...
I'll fix it. I tell you I will.
Darling, that pole's going to collapse any day now.
I'm going to do it, Jan. Don't worry about it.
Well, maybe if we did it together.
No.
Well, I was just thinking you could hold it in place with the dock, and I could...
No, I can do it.
But, Pete, you've been saying that...
I'll fix it.
Well, it better be done soon, darling.
I'll fix it. Now let me alone, will you? I'll fix it. Next week, sure.
You up there?
Go back to bed, Jan.
Come back downstairs, please.
Leave me alone, can't you?
Well, I hate to think...
I'm okay.
But, darling, the tower's so drafty.
I'm all right, I tell you.
Can't keep on without sleep like this, dear. You'll be sick.
Leave me alone, do you hear? Leave me alone. Hey, how come the fancy fixings? Hey, it's a party.
Why not? It's our 3rd month anniversary.
Well, how about that? Old married folks.
Even old married folks have parties once in a while.
You bet they do. Do we dress for dinner, Lady Janet?
Oh, quite. Your clean dungarees are laid out, my lord.
You want me to light the candles?
Yeah, everything's ready.
All right. What are we having?
Oh, it's a surprise.
Oh, I'm going to look.
I'll have your ears if you do. I spent all day at this party. I wonder why Mr. Steele didn't come
Coast
today.
Guard,
I forgot to tell you. He's bringing the stuff tonight.
Oh, he can help
Coast
us
Guard,
celebrate.
come in.
Yeah, I spoke to him this morning.
Coast
He
Guard,
had
come
engine
in,
trouble or
please.
something.
You can't get music on the ship to shore, honey.
Just a minute.
Coast Guard.
LH-12, give us the weather, will you, fella?
Please don't.
Just take a minute.
Latest official weather report. Increasing wind with rain. Barometer low and falling rapidly. Wind south to southeast. Keep your rubbers on, Rawlings.
Thanks, I'll do that. LH-12 out.
Well, it's on the table. What do you say?
Very nice, honey.
Nice. Why, Peter Rawlings, after
It's swell, baby. Wait just a minute, huh? I'll be right back.
Pete,
I think maybe I ought to check the beacon.
you know the beacon's all right.
Well, you can't ever tell.
If you leave me tonight...
Honey, this'll just take a minute.
Will it?
Just a minute. You better be right back. She knew I wouldn't come back. I'd done this too many times before. But a storm was coming, and there was that same hollow sickness in me, a need to get as far as I could from the snarling breakers spuming up outside the windows downstairs. I stood with my back pressed against the circular glass of the tower and looking straight ahead and never down. I thought of Jan and her party waiting for me, but I couldn't move. I just stood there tense, afraid to go down closer to the sight and sound of that twisting water. I heard Steele's boat faintly through a lull in the wind. John Steele. He'd have to take me back with him this time. I'm not just kidding myself anymore. I've been on this horse now for 3 months, but I couldn't make it go. And then I knew I couldn't even get to the mainland. I couldn't even face the trip across. I don't know how long I stood there before I realized it was quiet outside. The wind had let up, but the sky was still a heavy gray. Gray. I'd been in the tower all night. Steele's boat was gone from the dock. Then I remembered Jan's party. Jan!
Coast Guard calling. Coast Guard calling.
Honey! Hey, where are you?
LH-12.
That's still made up.
LH-12, come in, over.
Jan! Answer me, Jan!
Coast Guard calling. Coast
Jan!
Guard calling.
Jan, answer me!
LH-12.
Jan!
Are you getting me? Calling LH-12.
Jan!
Are you getting me? Calling LH-12. Come in, please, LH-12.
Oh, radio.
LH-12, come in. Come in.
LH-12 to Coast Guard. Over.
Where you been, man? Things happening upstairs. Low barometer dropping fast, 29.25 already. Wind southeast. Looks rough. Keep your eyes unzipped.
Rough. Sure, will do.
Nail your head on, Buster. We got a hurricane on our hands. You getting me, LH-12? You getting me? I said there's a hurricane.
Yeah, I got you. How is it? Moving fast?
Like an antelope, already up to 80 an hour. Down the coast, picking up across the Connecticut Valley. Your beacon in good order, rolling?
Yeah, it's okay. Is that all?
Yeah, for now. Better keep in touch, though.
The door banged open. The wind rushed in like a hungry demon. I put all my weight against it. The lock had broken. It wouldn't catch. I didn't have to look in the bedroom to know the big window had broken loose, too. The whole place was alive. Curtains ballooned against the ceiling. Lamps lay like uprooted trees. I tried to push the couch against the door, but the wind was too strong now. The angry water was volcanoing up outside breakers 15 feet high. My shirt was ripped and the wind was cold on my back.
LH-12. Coast Guard, LH-12 calling. LH-12. Come in, Rollin.
LH-12, Coast Guard calling. I knew I shouldn't go to the tower, but I couldn't stop. I just raced on up. My footsteps echoed metallically in the narrow stairwell. Fight downstairs had left me winded. I was only halfway up when I had to stop, catch my breath. I could see better now, closer to the beacon. Yeah, there it was, turning, slow and sure, good old faithful, dependable. I stood there 1 foot ready on the next step up.
Come in, urgent. Come in, urgent.
Dependable.
Come in, Lighthouse 12. Coast Guard calling. LH-12, come in, LH-12, urgent. Come in, Lighthouse 12, Coast Guard calling.
LH-12 to Coast Guard. Over.
Rollins, this is urgent. SOS from the supply center. He's out in that mess. Needs help quick. You can reach him faster than we can. Over.
My boat, it's pretty small. Can't you do better with a lifeboat there?
All boats out on other jobs.
I can't.
Look, fella, I didn't want to tell you, but your wife's on that cutter.
Jan is...
Rollins, I said your wife's...
Where? What direction?
Don't know now. Wind like this, Steele's radio went cold about 10 minutes ago. Better get on your horse, boy.
Yeah. On my horse. The little boat was jigging up and down so hard I could hardly grab the mooring line. Big combers crashed around me, beating at my face. The line stretched hard as steel wire. I tugged at the knot, but I couldn't get it loose. I couldn't waste any more time. Jan was out there somewhere. I slashed at the stiff rope with my knife. Salt water stung my hand where the knife had slipped, but I kept hacking at it till it gave way. I barely had time to jump in the boat before it was tossed out into the breakers. I crawled back to the stern, found the starting cord, wound it on, and yanked. Sky was black as night. I'd lost my direction bending over the motor, and then the beacon swept slowly around, and I was headed straight for the reef. The rock shelf gleamed up sharply through the turning light path. I tugged at the tiller, but the boat heaved forward with the great bursting swells. I could hardly see through the panic that gripped me. The light passed on, blotting out the reef, but I could still hear it coming closer. The surf getting louder against the rocks. It was sucking me backward in long, powerful sweeps. Suddenly we seemed to stand still, poised in midair. Then a tower of water scooped us up and threw us outward away from the jagged rock, and I headed for open water again. I lost all sense of time, just kept going. Pictures streaked through my mind. Jan clinging to an upturned boat. Jan choking and gasping for breath. I shouted her name into that wild blackness, but the wind muffled the words and threw them back in my face. But I kept yelling into the storm. The waves seemed fiercer than ever now, but I had to keep going. Find Jan. Had to find Jan. And then the motor stopped. My hands were stiff with salt and cold, but I managed to wind the starting cord. It wouldn't move. I grabbed it with both hands, but the thing was jammed. I lay on my stomach over the stern. The water washed over me into my mouth and eyes. I tugged at the motor, trying to lift it up, but the water held it. A piece of screening was caught in the propeller, but it was too far down to reach from there. I'd have to get under the boat to free it. Go down into the water. I crouched against the gunwale, trembling. She was broadside now, rocking hard, shipping more and more water by the second. I couldn't go down, not into the water. I'll fix it. I'll fix it now, Jan. Right now! see. The water is so strong. If I could just pull free. It slipped. It's gone. All right, I'm going there again, Jan. Got it. I got it. Now, get in the boat. All right, cord. Where is that cord? We did it! You see, Jan? It's going! That motor is going! Ride 'em, cowboy! Dig in those spurs, baby! We're coming, Jan! We got 'em licked! You hear, Jan? Run away! I kept on out there all that long day, straining through the storm, but I didn't find them. And then the hurricane suddenly shifted out to open sea, and the sun came out. The wind was gone, and the loud, ugly waves that had run amok were gentle ripples lapping quietly against the side of the boat. A seagull floated by. I stood up, looked across the new bright inlet. I'd have seen them now in that flat calmness. There's no sign of life anywhere. I nosed into the dock and tied up. The door of the lighthouse was still open, the way I'd left it. Broken lock jutting out. I stood there on the dock, dreading to go up to the house. A house without Jan. And then a figure tore around the side of the building, and Jan was there crying in my arms.
Oh, Pete, oh, darling.
Oh,
I thought you were...
now, stop that.
Let her cry, Pete. She's been wanting to all night.
I haven't.
You had me fooled.
Well, when the lifeboat dropped us off and you were...
Lifeboat? But...
One of the boats came by from down the coast soon after my engine broke down.
Then when we got here, I thought sure you'd been washed over the ledge.
I was looking for you.
Out there in the hurricane?
Well, I had to find you.
We couldn't believe, that is, we thought...
I know.
Darling, about last night. I didn't want to go.
I understand, honey. Sort of a last straw, huh?
I guess it was, but...
You back now, though, right?
For keeps.
Well, guess I'd better call in for a boat.
No, don't bother, Mr. Steele. We'll run you over.
Might be pretty choppy on the way back tonight.
Well, you know, that's mighty thoughtful of you, Mr. Steele. Honey, I'd better get our oilskins.
Title, Lighthouse 12. The story of a man who learned to overcome a demon of his own creation. Well, if you like this story, why not visit with me next week? Because I have a man I'm sure you'd like meeting who found himself in a net of political intrigue in the Near East with a mysterious and beautiful woman. I like to call it The Mission. So, friends, until next week, this is John Steele saying, a life of adventure is yours for the taking, wherever you find it. Only don't look for it. It may find you. Well, goodbye and good hunting.
John Steele Adventurer is produced by Robert Monroe, directed by Elliot Drake, and written by Lois Landauer. In our cast were John Larkin, Eva Marie Saint, and Charlie Holmes. Don Douglas is featured as John Steele. The orchestra was conducted by Sylvan Levin. Remember, next week, Mutual presents The Mission, another story of suspense and action from the files of John Steele Adventurer. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.